You should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no, wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
Do you know the expression, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war?
Right, exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly right. And so when I tell young men that, they think, well, lots of them are competitive. They're low in agreeableness, you know, because that's part of being competitive temperamentally. It's like, is there something wrong with being competitive? There's nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with cheating. There's something wrong with being a tyrant. There's something wrong with winning unfairly. All of those things are bad. But you don't want people to win? What's the difference between trying to win and striving? You want to eradicate striving?
Well, it's the uncomfortable feeling that people associate with losing. When they've personally experienced it, they look at losing as they've been oppressed or they've been hurt. But what they don't understand is that is the motivation for growth.
Now, being dangerous is not being a threat. They're two different things. All right? And it's not about going out and lifting weights and getting a bunch of tattoos and wearing leather jackets and walking around with your chest and shoulders up, hulking around saying, I'm dangerous. That's very rarely is that a dangerous man. Often the most dangerous man in the room is the quietest man in the room.
Well, I think balance is very important to happiness. And I think you can become incredibly obsessed on one goal. Your life could be a wreck outside of that one goal. It's a balancing act. It's a balancing act between family and friends and hobbies and rest and nutrition and passions and discipline and grinding and brutal workouts and recovery from those brutal workouts. It's a big, gigantic mandala. It really comes down to what are you trying to accomplish and what makes you happy. And for me, if one part of my life is awesome, but the rest of it is a wreck, I'm not happy. So I'm only happy if I've got like a good big picture going on, if I'm doing this balancing act and everything seems to be maintained. If it goes a little bit like this, then I can bring it back like this. And I'm constantly in this state of adjustment. Grind.
The grind does that. That's it. You're not grinding hard enough. If you're worried about something that someone did to you years ago, you're being a pussy to yourself, man. You're not getting out there and squeezing that fucking soul out every day.
Yeah.
If you grind hard, man, I ain't got time to worry about your monkey ass. I ain't got time to worry about you, man. Because tomorrow, I got to go back to the grind. And tomorrow, I go back to the grind again and again and again and again. I don't have time to put you into the hate bank. There's no hate. It's all filtered out, man, through the grind. People don't get it. There's great joy in the grind. Great joy in the suffer. It totally cleanses your body out, man, of any kind of hate. Makes you grow up.
I didn't know what I really wanted until I just been pushed so hard. The COVID and school, my family, no family, not having a family, and I knew what I finally wanted. And I realized that I couldn't stop and care about small things together. I didn't really wait. I didn't want to wane no matter what. And that's drive. And that's why my YouTube channel, you know, starting off, it took me like 5 months to reach 1,000 subscribers. When I started making these videos, I lost subscribers because I had like 100 when I started. But I didn't care about that. Motivation would have stopped me right there. 5 months, no growth. Why would I continue? But no, drive got me through that plateau. Because you know what? After that 5 months, I got 1,000 subs, and then another month, I got 10,000 subs, and then 3 months after that, I got 50,000 subs. And that's what drive will get you.
I always love showing you guys this type of stuff, because I really want you to know that anything you can dream of is possible. It's not necessarily the house, but I wanted a life of friendship and fun and waking up and doing something I love every day, and that's what I get to do. Everyone talks about it in school. Like, everyone grows up saying, oh, imagine we all get a house together and we're YouTubers, but only like 0.1% of people actually do it. And it's really just about locking in and not accepting any other fate but what you want for yourself. No one sees the vision. Like, I knew it would go up and up, and I knew just be patient, and this is still just the beginning. I got a lot more dreams left to accomplish.
I ain't gonna lie, the hate gonna come. The hate, I was expecting the hate, bro, cause when you doing better than niggas, niggas don't like that, bro. If you doing better than niggas don't like that, bro. Unless they know the hate come when niggas know that they won't dare for you, bro, and they know that they don't know you or for me, and they know that you're not bringing them with you. That's when the hate comes for me.
It's just amazing to see that he's done this. It's incredible that now it's his second home. Incredibly proud of Balin and all that he's achieved and accomplished, and he just keeps doing it. And what's amazing is all of these dreams that he has had, he manifests them and he makes them happen. So now when he tells me I'm going to do this, this, and this, in my mind I'm like, okay, yeah, it's going to happen. Or in the very beginning, you know, you're of course thinking it's going to be a really hard thing to do.
A lot of you out there watching right now will then be in my shoes and be able to do the same stuff. Literally anyone can. And that doesn't necessarily have to be YouTube. That can be anything. Follow your dreams.
Get on your shit. Get your shit together, bro. I'm doing it. You can too. I want you out here with me, bro. I want to see you out here. I want to see you in them dunes right there. Pulling up, making the same motivation. You can do it. You sit on your ass right now. Finna order Uber Eats, waiting, rolling up a blunt, talking about, oh, I'm gonna make a video tomorrow when I'm ready. Or I'm gonna make a video when I get 10,000 subscribers. Fuck the 10,000 subscribers. Post right now. How you gonna get there? How you gonna make this money if you don't start right now? People don't never get to see this. I know niggas back home that don't know Dubai. What the fuck is they only read about this in textbooks? I'm living shit I seen in textbooks, bruh. I never thought I've only read about this shit in textbooks in school, bro. My teacher would never think I'd be able to come out and see this shit, man. It's a blessing. It's a blessing, bro. And you guys can do that too. I promise you can. On everything I love, this shit is possible, bro.
The fear is never reaching your potential.
That's it.
That always falling short, always quitting before you're done, always procrastinating, always not doing the right thing. And then one day you're an old man.
Yep.
And you look back and go, God, I could have been great.
Yep.
It could have been great.
But of course, there's like times where like I literally like stare at my screen and like, well, I really want to click start streaming, and it's up to you. Like mentally, you got to be able to say, okay, no, take a break. You feel what I'm saying? Go relax. Or like, no, you're just being lazy. Like, come on, bro, you're just being lazy. I've had times where I've been lazy and been like, nah. But then when I do spark it, it ends up being like the craziest stream ever. Like that's the thing about streaming is like it could be that day, and you would never know like where some crazy shit would happen. Like there's always some crazy shit happening while I'm streaming.
Right, but you never know if the day that you decide, you know what, fuck it, let me not do it.
Yeah.
You might have just lost out on one of the greatest moments.
Greatest moments ever.
I never forget one time I was running by a graveyard. I mean, I was fucking just trying to I was fat. And I ran by a graveyard and I looked out there and I have all these epiphanies, man. I have all these fucking moments of it's crazy, man, of just thought. Cause I'm always by myself and always deep fucking thought about how to be better. And I look out there, I'm like, man, I wonder how many of you motherfuckers in there fucking just are so upset with how you lived your life and fucking just regret how you lived it. And I'm running a 300-pound man thinking, man, don't fucking die like this, bro. Don't die like this. So people wonder where this shit comes from me. It comes from such deep thought of trying to see what this is all about. What is this life all about? What am I all about? Why am I here? You know, I had to find purpose.
Anybody who like has blown up, they can relate to when you in your grinding stage, like that hunger is different. It's about if you can maintain it or not. Like that hunger that you get is like a different type of like, I don't know what it is. Like all I wanted to do was just work. So once you get that in you, like it's just like you can't stop.
Do you still have that same hunger, you think?
100%. Yes, I don't play when it comes to like my content because people will get comfortable and things can slow down. Like I know that all this can go away like this. So I gotta keep my head focused, stay on the right path, and just execute every time.
Do you ever press start on the stream and maybe a few minutes in are like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah,
You're doing it?
Yes, I think every streamer at one point can relate to that. Like I've clicked start and be like during my intros, there's like I play an intro, like it's just me, like it's like an intro screen. And I'm like, damn, like do I want to do this right now? Like, damn.
You ever back out and like say, I'm gonna cancel?
Nah, I never do it. I just push through it. And then cause I stream for like, I stream for like 8 to 10 hours. So like when I click that start, I better be ready to lock in for 8 to 10 hours.
You don't ever cut it short?
I try not to. But when I do click start and I be like, damn. I push through and it gets to you can feel it. It gets to a point where it's like, some shit happened, and another thing happened, and another thing happened, another thing, and then by the time you even know it, it's the end of the stream, and you're like, yo, I'm glad, like, I feel so good that I streamed. So, yeah.
It's easy to give up. You know,
Hell
it's
yeah.
easy. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. I'm done. I ain't going. I ain't gonna keep going.
Yeah,
I don't feel like going to work. I'm done.
Yeah, man.
It's easy. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yo, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
That's all it is. That's my only advice. I kind of just say live yours anytime someone asks me for some advice. It's very vague, but it's like it goes such a long way. Like just don't try and live mine, and likewise to any other like person that you see in the public eye. Yeah, don't like die trying to live someone else's life, innit? I even miss the pain. That's why I even try and tell people like just embrace the struggle, bro, because one day it's gonna be done. I look back on them times and actually somehow miss them still.
Hey, this is what I like right here. This is what I like right here, alright? You know what I'm saying? Like, just being by myself, bro. I do everything by myself. I learned how to be by myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't need people to do, you know what I'm saying, like fun like this.
What's your morning routine like? Or do you have a morning routine that you like, or do you just kind of...
Fasted cardio is what I like to do, or fasted yoga. That's my most recent thing, is I'm doing either 14 to 16 hours, depending upon what my day looks like. So intermittent fasting. And then I usually either like yoga or running in the morning. Today was running, and then I'll do something in the afternoon, either martial arts related or weightlifting related.
Do you drink coffee every morning, like right when you wake up, or?
Not always, but I like it. I like these things, these nitros, these caveman nitros. But I like regular coffee too. But I drink water with Himalayan salt in it too. That's one of the first things. Yeah, I put a little lemon in there too.
Do that every morning?
Sometimes I throw a little cayenne pepper in that motherfucker. Wow!
Any apple cider ever vinegar?
I do that stuff sometimes too. I take a lot of probiotics.
Those are the
I eat a lot of kimchi. I find like kimchi and game meat is like, I've been on this kick for the past 3 or 4 months where I just eat kimchi and elk like 3-4 times a week and stuff. Yeah.
Dude, it's hard when you eat some elk before bed and you wake up hard as a rock, wanting to fuck people up too. You're like, what the fuck, dude?
People don't know, man.
Dude.
They don't know. You're eating a super athlete. If you eat elk, you're literally eating a super athlete. You know?
How long's your training routine take you?
Generally 2 hours.
Okay.
A regular day for me is 2 hours. But it depends. One of the things I do is I use, when it comes to training like with weights and kettlebells, I treat kettlebells like it's a skill. And I think that is something that I learned from Pavel Tsatsouline and studying his Strong First protocol.
Mm-hmm.
He advocates a long rest period in between workout sets and more repetitions in terms of volume by virtue of the fact that you have larger rest periods. And a lot of people feel like they're being lazy when they do that because they're not pushing themselves. But I push myself doing other things. Right. If you look at the general population and you get a bunch of weak bitches and you get them together, how many of them are going to keep it together? How many of them are going to run every day? How many are going to work out every day? Very, very, very few. You're dealing with outliers in particular just by virtue of what you do. How many people are willing to put the work in to achieve this?
Not many.
How many people are going to achieve this physique? Very, very few, right?
Thank you.
So we're talking about outliers. We're talking about that's what I like. I like outliers. I don't like people like, it's too hard. I can't hear that.
I just asked Bud the exact same question, but I'm curious for you. Do you view this season as a failure?
Do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, provide a house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success. Michael Jordan played 15 years, won 6 championships. The other 9 years was a failure? That's what you're telling me? No, it was not. It was steps to it, and we were able to win one. Hopefully we can win another one.
I have failed
far more times than I've succeeded. You will never succeed more than you fail. That's not how it works. You know why? Because failure is a wonderful teacher. It's the only way to learn. You have to fail. Failure is a part of the process to becoming successful. I tell people this all the time. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player in the world, he took 946 game-winning shots. He has only made 146 of those. He has missed over 700 times, but he has made 146. You know what they write about? When you make it. They write about when you make it. So guess what? When you get through failing, all you got to do is make one.
How would you recommend moving past this failure? What would you have done if your SEAL career ended with a mistake?
Well, if my SEAL career had ended with a mistake, I would have figured out what my next mission was going to be. That's what I would have done. I mean, I would have said, okay, I like that job. I failed at it. What can I learn from that? And what can I do next differently to make sure I don't make that mistake again? I'm going to learn from the past, but I'm not going to dwell on it. There's no point in dwelling on it. The only point in dwelling on it is to learn from it. So that's what I would do here. And then I would take what I learned from my experiences of where I failed, and I would also take the positive things that I learned, because even that failure is a positive. Even that failure is a positive, because you realize the value of the opportunity that you had, and you blew it, and you're like, okay, I'm never gonna let that happen again. Lesson learned. I'm actually stoked I get to learn that lesson, because there's gonna be more opportunities that come up in life, and you got to make sure that you don't disregard those opportunities when they come up. So I would have taken those lessons learned, take that failure and turn it into something positive, and made good things happen when I figured out what my new mission and new career was going to be.
I would like to know, when you're in that moment failing and you have to keep going, what do you say to yourself?
What if? A lot of times I'll be in a 200-mile run or something like that, and I'm all jacked up. Body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I started to say, what if I can pull this off? When I first walked into the Navy SEAL recruiter's office, he looked at me and said, there's only been 35 African Americans in 70 years make it through. You know what I said to myself? What if I can be the 36th? It's the what if I can pull off a fucking miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just me talking about that, I have the hair going up on my arms, because it makes me just like, what if I can be that guy that people who call nigger this and that? And now I'm speaking at Tom Ferry's fucking event.
I've had in my career, I've been to over 200 pitch meetings to pitch ideas in Hollywood. Out of those 200, they have picked 5 of them. 200 meetings, 200 show ideas, they've picked 5 of them. But you know what them 5 was? Hits. In 33 years, 5 ideas got picked. All I need is 5 hits. That's all. So when you fail, it's a part of the process. Keep going. You're supposed to fail. Shit, who you know that gets it right all the time? That's impossible. You have to fail. Matter of fact, when you fail, be glad about it. Every time you fail, you're one step closer. So every time you fail, say, whew, got that out the way. Go to the next one. Fail again, okay, I got 2 out the way. What's gonna happen is, if you just keep swinging, you're gonna get a hit. A baseball player gets paid millions and millions of dollars for a 300 batting average. That means out of every 10 times he goes to the plate, he only hits the ball 3 times. They're millionaires. They only hit it 3 times.
You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. I was a 1.8 GPA one semester, and the university very politely suggested that it might be better to take some time off. I was 20 years old. I was at my lowest point. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. But I continued to fail and fail and fail. But it didn't matter because you know what? There's an old saying, you hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're gonna get a haircut. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break. Last year, I did a play called Fences on Broadway. It was at the same theater that I failed that first audition 30 years prior. The point is, every graduate here today has the training and the talent to succeed. But do you have the guts to fail? If you don't fail, you're not even trying. Never be discouraged. Never hold back. Give everything you got. And when you fall throughout life, remember this: fall forward.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
This is all about the quitting mind. So what's the quitting mind? So let's say it's day one of a job interview. We all know what that fucking shit feels like. You have your clothes laid out. You got your fucking food ready to go in the morning. You've been preparing for weeks and weeks and weeks. You show up and you bring your best self. You get the fucking job. Merry fucking Christmas. All right. After a couple months, you start showing up to work a little later. You don't look as good. Your clothes aren't fucking laid out. Your breakfast isn't ready. Your mind's getting softer. We do that shit with everything in life. When New Year's coming up, guess what? Don't have a fucking quitting mind. Repetition every day. Stay hard.
Your missus says stay in bed. It's comfy, it's cozy. You've got work later on. You had an argument last night. You're slightly hungover.
Cause I know every motherfucker ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do. So this is how you level up. That's how you level up. I know there's a whole bunch of people with that right there. That fires me up. That makes me fucking happy what you just said. That brings joy to my life right there.
Why?
Because I know there's so many people that have the ability and just refuse to get off that couch. Refuse to study a few more hours. Refuse to go deeper, to go further. And that's where I gain the advantage. It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go to that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. It's miserable. It's lonely. You talk about that you were kind of, lonely by yourself. I was the same way.
Now, if you know what you want, I go and get what you want. But you gotta be willing to.
It's okay. You made this much money, get back to fucking work. It's time to get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk. Get off the podcast. Don't be on social media too much. Cut out all the fucking noise. Get back to the fucking mental lab, because that's where the knowledge came from. So for me, I must cap myself so I can come back with better, more unique knowledge versus all that cookie cutter knowledge that's out there. That's why people buy the books I have, because it's not cookie cutter.
I believe in the law of attraction.
I'm gonna believe that I'm gonna be better than him. It's something it's like an internal belief. So I just feel it in my whole being that I'm the best fighter on the planet. I honestly have convinced myself that I'm not designed to lose. Power of the mind.
And I believe that that you can speak things into existence. And I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you.
Do you meditate, John?
I used to meditate a lot. Now I'm more big into visualization.
When did you used to meditate?
Right around 2010, 2011. I went through this huge spiritual thing where I became obsessed with the power of the mind, and I got into it deep, like really deep. Just meditation, visualization, and just realizing how powerful our minds actually are, like how we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief. And right around 2010, I just took myself to this different mental level. So I took myself from being very average-minded to actually believing that I was the shit, and believing that I could be the shit and that I could be the GOAT and be the greatest and never lose it. Like I took myself to a different place mentally, and a lot of it came from mental practice and meditation and visualization and just seeking knowledge from people who are strong believers, guys like Les Brown and Tony Robbins and guys like that. I just became really obsessed with just learning about the power of the mind. So I used to meditate. Now I just kind of, I have a lot of things that stuck with me, a lot of ways of believing that stuck with me that just subconsciously I know who I am, what I'm capable of, and how I believe, how powerful my mind actually is.
I honestly believe that I was born to fight. I really believe it in my whole heart. You know, some people think that's silly. But I think a lot of great athletes, people who are really good at what they do, it's more than just what they can do in the gym. It's something that starts way before they're known in the arena. It's something that it's like an internal belief. I have the worst anxiety. I get very nervous, but I owe it to myself to not be afraid. And when you believe that you're gifted outside of just the hard work, then it's just like, bro, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna roll the dice. Yeah, he might be a better wrestler than me, but you know, like I said, you gotta have confidence in yourself. So even if, you know, collegiately he had a better career than me, you know, I'm gonna believe that I'm gonna be better than him. You know, it's the power of the mind, and you know, I believe that I'm gonna stuff his takedowns. And if he does take me down, I believe that I'll be amazing on my back. You know, I just gotta think for the best and you know, train for the worst.
What do you think the sport's gonna be, you know, when UFC 200 rolls around? And where do you think you're gonna be 9 years from now, 10 years from now?
I'm hoping to be a champion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep the fans excited. The UFC is growing, and it's just a tremendous thing to be a part of. It's changed my life, and I embrace what it is to the fullest. And I'm just excited to be a part of it. I have a lot of pride in it.
So with Rampage Jackson, I kept having these nightmares that I would get knocked out. And no matter how the fight played out, I would always get knocked out. And it was always within the first 30 seconds of the fight. So, you know, one scenario I'd run out, he'd run at me, swing a huge overhand right. The other, he would throw a right uppercut. And then another dream, it was a left hook. And I couldn't avoid this inevitable knockout that I was going to experience in the first round. So I call those red zone thoughts, and I actually learned that from Rashad Evans. You know, when you have a negative thought, immediately cancel it with a positive thought. You know, instead of thinking of somebody beating your ass, think of yourself exhausted, you're winning, fight's almost over. Sure. Just think something positive. And I just couldn't avoid these images and actual nightmares of Rampage Jackson knocking me out. So on fight night, I felt like I was going to get knocked out. I was getting these signals from a higher power that, like, John, this is going to happen to you tonight. And I couldn't avoid it. So I just had this super deep prayer where I got down on my knees and I touched my body from my head to my toe for the first time. And I prayed this prayer asking God to just give me the supernatural, like, reaction abilities, speed, flexibility, awareness. And as I was praying this prayer and touching myself and rubbing myself and meaning every ounce of this, thinking my life is on the line, I noticed, looking at myself, that I was covered in feathers. I was covered in white feathers.
Like a hallucination?
It wasn't a hallucination, man. It was
real as fuck to you.
It was very real to me. It was very real to me. I could see myself covered in, like, there was like small feathers in between my fingers, and I was covered in feathers, and they came up like to my neck, and my face was still like normal, not in feathers, but my hands and feet were covered, and I felt like I was like this fighting thing that wasn't earthly, almost, and I like felt this surge of energy, power, flexibility, mental acuity and awareness and sharpness that I had never experienced before. And I like jumped off my knees and like landed on both feet immediately, and I was just like, woo! Woo! And I was just, Wendy's like, my coach was just looking at me like they could feel like, okay, he is pumped up. And Coach Winkle John's like, let's hit. And immediately I kicked the pad and it was like, boom. And it was like, whoa. And like my kicks were lightning fast, and I didn't need to stretch anymore. I didn't need to warm up my lungs anymore. My kicks were going up high. I was jumping higher. I was kicking faster and higher. It was an unbelievable experience, and I actually was able to hang on to this feeling and this illusion of myself being in this alter ego all the way through the cage, all the way through my walk to the cage. And I felt like in that Rampage Jackson fight, I walked into that fight as this Featherman for the first time, and my idea to crawl towards him was the only thing that hadn't happened in all my nightmares, right? Because in every fight I started on my feet. So something just said, get on your knees and crawl up to him. And then automatically the dream voids itself. Now to this day, I say that same kind of prayer over myself, and I believe that I transformed into something.
When you were in that fight, was time slowed down for you? Were you kind of like...
Things weren't slowed down, but you get to this belief place that you are more than human at the moment, and then you believe that things, as far as just on every realm, are not designed to go against you at this moment. This is cool. You're actually living in your actual purpose at this moment. This was exactly what you're designed and born to be doing. This is your mark, and at this moment, I'm being used by my higher power to like
fuck shit up.
Pretty much.
Yeah, dude.
Pretty much.
A lot of people were surprised when they found out that you've been signing your name as Champ 2011. How did that come about?
I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that that you can speak things into existence. And I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you. And me signing my signature with Champion 2011 on it can't hurt me. It can't hurt me. It could only help me to believe it even more. So yeah. I mean, it works for me.
Go for Morty!
Hi, Morty. It's Jessica. Look, can we just talk for a minute?
Is that how long it takes for Rick to trace my location?
Come back, Morty. I miss you.
You miss the old me. You miss someone that loved you so much you never had to love him back.
How do you know I don't want to love you?
Because I'm not sick.
Which way does a tree fall? Down? A tree falls the way it leans. Be careful which way you lean.
I can't fight him. He has all my weapons. I have nothing.
When you began your journey, you were determined. Nothing could stop you. And now that you are so close, are you willing to give up so easily?
It was easier at the beginning.
Beginnings are often easier. But think of all that you have accomplished along your journey. What you have learned from your battles with the bear, the snake, the monkey.
What's the point of fighting my way up the mountain when someone else is just going to come up the easy way?
There is always going to be someone who does things the easy way. But that should not stop you from doing things the right way. It is your journey, young warrior. Only you decide when it ends.
Well, I'm sorry that things have been so hard for you, but that doesn't give you the right to be shitty to me. I can't be around someone who's just fueled by bitterness and negativity.
Well then, what are you doing here?
What happened, Bojack?
Same thing that always happens.
The smarter you are, the more you know. Happiness is a trap. It can't last forever. Let's say you meet the love of your life. Well, it's still gonna end. It's inevitable, whether by the slow pull of a disease or the shock of loose footing on a hiking trail, whether it be the corrosion of two personalities that reshape each other until they're incompatible, or maybe the old stranger in a bar who says the things that need to be said to that person that night. The point is, happiness always ends. Best case scenario, think about this. Best case is that you die at the same time.
There's been this unrelenting voice in my head. We all have this voice. It's the right or wrong voice. And a lot of times that voice guides us into comfort. And my voice guided me into comfort a lot. But I had this other voice I heard my whole life saying, hey, motherfucker, what are you doing? Nah, man, we gotta go over here. We gotta go over here to that rock pile over in the fucking corner where nobody's at. That's where victory's at. We're over there in that corner. So this voice was giving me all these answers. Now, I wasn't a real smart kid growing up, but I had this crazy voice in my head saying, over there is where the fucking answers are. And I didn't want to listen to it because over there was pain. Over there was me looking in the mirror. Over there was me being accountable for all these things I went through my life. Even though people put them on me, it's now mine to own. And I didn't want to go over there by myself, but I had to. And this voice was guiding me there. It's God, whatever you want to call it. But that's what it was in me. Life is one big psychological warfare that you play on yourself. You play on yourself, man. The most important conversation I ever had is with myself. And the shit I was telling myself was so fucked up, it was so wrong, it was so misguided. And other people start to write that dialogue for you also. And it starts to be what you say to yourself every single day. And I started creating a whole nother warfare, a whole nother battle started becoming. I was like, oh, hang on a second, Goggins. You have these tools. You have these tools. Your life was basically the perfect grounds for training for where you need to go in your life. All the beatings, all the bullying, all the, you going through learning disabilities, all the struggles. It was the absolute perfect training ground for you to go to where you need to go. And that's how I started looking at my life versus woe is me, poopy pants, kick a rock down the street mentality. It was, no, God just hooked you right the fuck up. He hooked you right up, man, with the perfect place. You were training. You had the advantage of everybody else versus, my God, they're so above me. They came from a great family. Mom and dad love them. They didn't have to learn, they didn't stutter, they didn't struggle. No, man, your struggle is what made you who you are now. Self-discipline is everything. And if you don't have it, I don't look at you right, because I know you're capable of more. It's not discipline so much for me. It's all on you. It's all on you. The self part is what's big. We need someone to hold people accountable. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that shit. We count on people too much to get us through shit. And we look to our right, we look to our left, we're looking for help. And if you can build that self, you can build that total accountability in oneself. And it's not about being selfish. I'm trying to create a better me. So hopefully people who are hearing this are taking it the right way, can say, I can run a mile. It ain't about running 205 fucking miles, doing 4,000, being a city. It ain't about all that shit. Shit doesn't matter. I want you to see how fucking far you can go. And that's all it's about, yourself. And that's where it all comes from. No one's gonna fucking come to help me. No one's gonna fucking come to help me. It's fucking me against me, period. And so I had to man up. And I said, the first thing I gotta start doing is facing every fucking fear I have. No matter what the fuck it is, man. And these things would keep me up. And no one, people who are hearing this shit, they will never really understand and grasp when you face these things and so many things, how they keep you up and haunt you at night. I had two options. To either be that 300-pound guy who sprayed for cockroaches and made $1,000 a month, and at 24 years old, knowing when I'm 50 fucking years old, I can reflect on this and think about what guy I never became, or I can totally just sack it up and fail and fail and fail until I succeed. So I started calling recruiters up. I said, I'm gonna go be a fucking Navy SEAL. Most people are missing something because they don't know who they are. They never examine themselves. They've never done this experiment on themselves. The lab rat, we're all lab rats, but you're also the scientist. You create your own self. Most people are missing something because there's so much trapped in there. I don't even want to say potential. I think that's a word used out too much too. There's so much in you that God or wherever the hell you believe in, or if you're an atheist, in you that you have not unlocked. God, I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, because it's about 75% of you is still fucking in there, still chained up, because you just didn't want to find your willpower. Didn't want to find your soul, your will, your heart, your determination, your guts, your courage. And what that looks like, it looks scary. Like your little scary lab I went in. Scary. To wake up every day and say, I'm stupid, but I want to figure out a way to be smarter. Versus saying, man, I just can't do that. So you limit this box. So your box becomes so small of things you can do. My box wasn't even a box. It was a fucking little pinhole. And then, through examining myself, getting some willpower, some courage, it became bigger than this table. But that's what we all do. That's why I wanted to come here today and talk to you about real shit. Not no fucking like hacks. There's no hacks, bro. It's you against you. You against you. And if you misunderstand that, you have a real problem. Real problem. I can understand you misunderstand me running down the street, shirt off, fuck this, yeah. I can get it, I get it. If you misunderstand what I'm saying right now today, the problem is you, and you don't want to fix it. It developed a lot of anger, and I still have it, and it will never go away. Because when you put yourself in the sewer like I was in, and please, if someone saved me, come out and announce it to the world. There was no one. There's no one. So when you know that, and then I'm sitting at a table with all these smart people who are telling me what to do and shit and guiding me through my life now, I don't need you to guide my future. I know what's good for me and what's bad for me. And for me, it took every bit of focus I could. And I know social media, that's why people love to go on there, because they want to show you the good side of life. I'm not teaching good side of life. So I had to figure out a way when I came on in 2016 of teaching you what life really is for the majority of us is hell. And so while people love to show you the cars and the house and the vacations and shit, all that's good, all that's happy. I'm gonna show you the side that I know most of you are going through. And people hide very well. I don't wanna hide anymore. I hid for 24 fucking years. I'm gonna teach you how to be vulnerable, because that's the only way you fix yourself. You don't fix yourself by coming out here and me selling you some fucking books. That's why I don't have them. I forgot them. I'm glad people got something from the book. I want you to learn that the only way you grow is how to look at yourself and say, okay, like I did, what the fuck I have to do to get somewhere? There was nothing good on there. Nothing. Yeah, I love playing basketball. I left that out. That's something I love to do. I don't care about that. That didn't make the fucking list. Because the list that I had to live by was the very list that was to get me at this table with you. And a lot of us have this voice in our head. We all know that voice in our head that tells us the truth every single day that we try to run away from, that says we're scared of this, let's go this way. It started gnawing at me so horribly bad that it wouldn't allow me to live anymore without facing me. I had to go back in the dungeon. So when I tell my story, I tell it on a very surface level. I had to go down in the dungeon, the sewer where my mind used to be at, and talk to that guy. Because I wanted to live my life in a way that when I died, I was proud of myself. I knew what pride felt like. And if it took pushing myself to death, I was willing to do that. But I want to look in that mirror, not impress anybody, not money, not fame, not nothing. I wanted to impress the guy in the daggone mirror. And I worked endlessly and tirelessly to do that. And it happened. It's too hard. Life isn't fair. These things in life are not easy for me. You look to your left, you look to your right, and you start to judge yourself off other people. Like, if you're a female, well, she's skinny and she doesn't work out as hard as I do, and everything starts to corrupt your mind. You start to look around too much at other people and what they're doing, and that starts to corrupt your own dialogue. We are judging ourselves against too many fucking people. You have to judge yourself against yourself. And that's the one thing I started learning, man. This isn't a race against me and Rich Roll. This is a race against David Goggins and David Goggins alone. And once you can silence all that bullshit, all the outside interference and things that are attracting your mind to everything, you can then start to grow in realizing I'm stressed out for no reason. This is my own little race. This is my own timeline, and this is how I'm gonna run it. You're willing to suffer and go back in the grind. That internal dialogue you have with yourself when you're in misery and you're uncomfortable, it's a real, scary, unfiltered, no lying dialogue between you and yourself. And people know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about when you're in a bad spot in life and your mind is saying all kind of shit. That's who you really are. That's the real you. No Rocky Balboa moments going on up there. You're like, hey, you know, it's round 14. Let's come on, we got this. No, it's like, fuck this, I'm out of here, man. This is crazy. That's where the growth happens. When you're able to stay in that moment and talk yourself back into the suck of wherever you're going through, and you start stripping those layers away, but as you're stripping those layers away, you're building calluses over top of shit in your mind. That's where the growth starts to happen, is when you have to force yourself to stay in it. You can't leave it. Every day is gonna suck. And live like that, to be better. And I put it this way, I'm in the water's going over my head, the Pacific Ocean, you know it's freezing. February, cold as shit. Been through 3 hell weeks. For you to constantly win, when this voice over here, the real you, is saying, get the fuck out of here. Go. You're nobody. You've always been nobody. And it's true. People don't hear that. That's a true voice. That's the real reality of David Goggins at 24 years old. It's not a false reality. And then you had to create another voice over here that is saying you're better than that other voice. And you're in the freezing cold water that both voices don't want to fucking be in. But you win. And it goes from the water to the studying, to the running, to losing weight, to how you eat, to how you function as a man. Every day of your life, you're winning these battles. And the thing about it is, you have to be really, and sometimes all the voices are telling you the wrong shit, man. But through years, not a podcast or listening to a book or reading a book, years of sacrifice, of suffering, of diligent, pinpoint fucking work on what you want to do for yourself. Not like, oh, let me just do a bunch of shit. I want to be in every task possible. No. Pinpoint what I want to do with my life. What happens is you have all these voices that are telling you you're fucked up and this is gonna be hard, but for some reason, you put so much practice into you that you can ignore every one of them that are telling you you're not gonna fucking make it and still be able to fucking make it. Because you have put the practice in that you know this is the process. It's such a daunting task that all the voices are saying no. But you still have the conviction that I know I can do this. And that's what it took for me to get here 30 years ago, 25 years ago, pipe dream. And ever since then, every voice was like, you're a fucking nut. But when you put that practice in, every day you lace them up, and I don't mean run, it's just a metaphor for life. You lace them motherfuckers up every day, pretty soon you win. Pretty soon you'll fucking win. There's so much peace in knowing what I've accomplished and what I've done. I found peace years ago. In the battle you find peace. When you go to war with yourself, you find a lot of peace. Because you know exactly who you are. And that is where the peace is really found for me.
Never, ever give up. There'll be times in your life you'll want to quit, you'll want to go home. You'll want to go home perhaps to that wonderful mother that's sitting back there watching you and say, Mom, I can't do it. I can't do it. Just never quit. Go back home and tell Mom, Dad, I can do it. I can do it. I will do it. You're going to be successful.
But I finally realized that, and I want to share this with you, if you give up on your dreams, what do you have left? Nothing. I can't live that way. I I have to live on the edge.
If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving.
You can't wait for everything to be perfect to start living your life.
My mom is 84 years old, and she's at home watching. Mom, I just want an Oscar.
I don't know why the man above gives me the hardest role, but it's nothing the man above don't put you in situations that you can't handle. And I just kept that same positive attitude, like, instead of saying, why me, they're saying this is what he want me to do.
Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win.
I guess we'll never know.
That's why failure is so important. Like failing and fucking up and making mistakes. It's very important. That's how you learn. That's the bad feeling that you get from something that you shouldn't have done or wish you didn't do or wish you did better. Like especially failing at something where you half-assed it and you just feel like a fucking loser. Like that just teaches you.
When you had that third failure in a row, did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up.
But what did you learn from that whole experience? Just having to go through what you went through.
God is great.
Is it that simple?
God is great. Don't get no simpler than that, bro.
Did you know that? I mean, everybody knows that, but the way you know it now, did you know it before that incident took place?
You can know it all you want, but until you got to pick up that cross that you can't carry, and he picks it up for you and carries you and the cross, then you know.
You're going to be all right. You just stumbled over a stone in the road. It means nothing. Your goal lies far beyond this, doesn't it? I'm sure you'll overcome this. You'll walk again. Soon.
You want a sword, Thorfinn? A sword is a tool meant to kill. Why do you need it? Whose life do you intend to take?
Enemies.
Your enemies? Who are they?
Well, bad guys like Halfton.
Listen to me, my son. You don't have enemies. The truth is that nobody has them. Nobody in this entire world deserves to get hurt.
In my heart, I believe that though I am a sinner, I have been saved. And I believe there is something beyond this rock, and this air, and this water around us. Something more that is waiting for us. I have been baptized twice, once in water, once in flame. I will carry the fire of the Holy Spirit inside until I stand before my Lord for judgment.
To all of you out there, please keep your dreams alive.
We all get exactly the same amount of time. Focus on right now because that is all you've got. There isn't any past, there isn't any future. Now's it. Listen, when the sand's gone, it's gone. Don't waste your time. Do you know that everybody alive gets exactly the same amount of time? We get all there is. It's what we do with it that makes the difference. Don't waste your life. Set your goals high. Quit thinking about what's wrong. Start thinking what's right. Love a little more, hate a little less. You have no idea what you're capable of doing. Make up your mind today, you're gonna figure it out.
It's easy to give up. Hell yeah. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. I'm done. I ain't going. I ain't gonna keep going. Yeah, I don't feel like going to work. I'm done.
Yeah, man.
It's easy. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yo, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
I said, what I look like giving up today when tomorrow might be the day I win. A lot of you niggas is giving up, and y'all giving up not knowing that tomorrow might be the day you win. I want y'all motherfucking grind. I want y'all to not only, y'all niggas be proud of me, I want to be proud of y'all. I want you to tag me on the gram like, yo, Finn, look what I did. I'ma hit that like, I'ma swipe. I'm like, nah, nigga, you're different.
People only fail because they get caught up into what winning was. You're supposed to fail at some point in time. You're supposed to get knocked down a couple times. You're supposed to lose. That's how you learn. Perfection is only a word because imperfection was discovered. You can't be perfect without knowing what imperfect is. You have to experience imperfection at some point to go, now I'm perfect. And that's what people don't realize.
It don't matter how many times you fumble in terms of like feeling that something. You know what I'm saying? I say that because I'm always up some when it comes to the gym. But check this out, you always see me back in it though. You feel me? Like, it don't matter how many times you might fall, as long as you get up, you good money. Why would I quit today when tomorrow might be the day I win? Real shit, bro. They in your motherfucking pad. I tell this shit time and time again. Don't let these other fuck with you. Listen, you on your path, they on theirs. Do you and focus on you. Be great, be beautiful, be blessed. I mean, that's one thing we never gonna stop doing is working, bro. Cause that's how we get everything. You feel me? Whatever you want in life, you gotta work for it, bro. That's how I think about everything. You want something? Go work for it. You know what I mean? Go work for it, bro.
Keep going. Like, keep doing what you're doing, and I'm doing what I'm doing. There's no comparison anymore, in a way, because what works for other people don't work for you, man. So we're all on our own timeline. There's a time for everyone, but we all got space in this world to fulfill and succeed. That's exactly what my dad told me. There's not one time you're not gonna have a shot. We all got a shot, man. It's just whether you're willing to run after it.
Keep working, y'all. Keep grinding. Keep trying for greatness in whatever you do. Feel me? A lot of people not gonna believe in your mission, your goals. As long as you believe, trust me, you gonna get there. Work hard, bro. Hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. Listen, I live by that. Hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard.
What I'm saying is I'm always waiting for everything to be perfect before I live my life. I'm always waiting for everything to be perfect before I live my life.
Everyone's like, oh, later in life, I want to do this. Later in life, I want to do that. Later in life is turning around, looking in the mirror right now. That's the later in life. And unless that turnaround is something in progression, later in life ain't gonna be anything different.
As soon as these things line up, I'm gonna live my life. I'm burning this candle down, and I'm saying as soon as it gets bright enough or warm enough in here, I'm gonna show up. But the candle's getting smaller.
Every morning when you get up, say over and over to yourself, do it now, do it now, do it now. I do it now, do it now. Whenever you have this tendency to procrastinate, program your subconscious mind with this automatic conditioned command. Do it now, do it now, do it now.
You can't wait for everything to be perfect to start living your life.
Find something. Find a thing that you genuinely enjoy, because getting good at things you genuinely enjoy is extremely beneficial for young people, because it lets you know that, like, everybody thinks they're a loser. Every young person thinks they're a loser. At least a young person in the situation I was at. Like, I didn't know I wasn't a loser until I started winning, until I started doing martial arts. Martial arts taught me that, like, I could get better at stuff, that I wasn't really a loser. I just was someone who was, like, in a fucked up situation. But you could channel all that energy that you have as a young person into something and get better at it, and then all of a sudden people admired me. I was like, this is crazy. So I went from being someone who was incredibly insecure and basically a failure to someone who was really successful at this one thing that was very dangerous, that other people were scared of. Also, this idea, this is a really important one, because people have this idea that somehow, I'm 30 years old, I shouldn't be doing this anymore. I'm 50 years old, I should have learned by now. That's all bullshit. Throw that away. Toss that shit aside. Like, these ideas of numbers that people have in their head, that by a certain age you should stop. You are alive. And if you are alive and if you are thinking, all those numbers that you keep attaching, well, you know, when Einstein was 30, shut the fuck up. Stop doing that. That is a waste of your time. And stop saying to yourself, I should be better by now. I'm such a total non-helping thought. What you need to think of is life. You're living, you're alive right now, and if you've made a mistake and you're still continuing to learn and grow, that's all just data. Over time, I've learned that these people, you're not gonna fix them. I used to want to fix them when I was young. I used to want to go, hey man, I see what you're doing. Like, dude, don't do that anymore. Listen, just try, just do this and stop doing that and start doing this. And if you just work towards this, you could be successful. And then A week later, the guy's doing the same shit. You're like, okay,
Right.
I'm wasting a significant amount of my energy on someone who doesn't want to waste any of their energy on themselves. And so managing the community and the tribe that you're in, making sure that you're a good member of that tribe, that you're doing your part. When you're around happy, inspirational people that are successful, it makes you feel better and you get inspired. And if you act on that inspiration, your life will be more fulfilled. And it's not just inspirational in terms of financial success, but in terms of doing difficult things, whether it's running 100 miles, it doesn't pay you a goddamn thing other than the wealth of the knowledge that you can push yourself to such an extreme. Or anything else, whether it's someone who becomes really good at playing chess or someone who's really good at martial arts or whatever it is. There's a great feeling in these overcoming these difficult things. I think a lot of what happiness is a management issue, and decisions that you're making right now, like you could be in a shit state of mind right now, but you could make some decisions to adjust that, and over the next couple hours, you'll get to a much better place. And
Right.
this includes the way you communicate with people. This includes like the friendships that you have, making sure your friends know that you love them. They oftentimes think, I want to be the one that's enjoying life, like especially selfish people. If people enjoy being around you,
Right.
you'll enjoy everything more. The solo effort
That's right.
of going through life like with a narcissistic perspective,
Yeah.
one of the major problems with that is there's no one to share it with because you're all out for yourself.
That's right.
Even if you get there, you're going to be filled with sadness and despair.
That's right.
It's not what you want. What you want is to be happy, right? Well, I know you think that you have to be all about yourself to be happy, but in fact, that is a way to ensure unhappiness regardless of success.
That's right.
You are not your past. You're you. You're you right now. Like the past you might have done some things you wish you hadn't done. Don't dwell on that. You can learn from it, that's fine, but don't dwell on it. Just keep moving. Keep moving. You know, use it as fuel. Say never again. You know, I get what I did wrong, but don't think that you're that person that made those mistakes. You're the person who's learned. You know, and to have that attitude is a really important thing. And to not say, why am I doing this now? I could have been doing this my whole life. Well, you weren't, so the fuck is that gonna help?
Yeah.
You know, you gotta not think like that. You just gotta be happy you're doing it now.